Hello students, we are seeing our chapter number 11 of science, that is transportation in animals and plants. So in our previous lecture we have discussed in detail here about the transportation in plants, and here in this lecture we will learn about the transpiration process. So what is meant by transpiration? So transpiration means evaporation process. It is known as the evaporation process which happen inside the plant, which happen particularly inside the plants, that is known as transpiration. Yes, the transpiration or evaporation of water happen mostly inside the leaves. Yes, in other body parts also the transpiration process happen, but mostly in large quantity the water get evaporated through the stomata which are present in the leaves. So, evaporation process of water is known as transpiration. So, and how that evaporation process happen? We know that for transportation of plants, we have learned in our previous lecture, water and mineral get transported through the root hair, from the root hair towards the leaves through the xylem, from root hairs towards the leaves through the xylem, and that water, all that quantity of water is not used by the plants. Yes, all that quantity which is absorbed by the root hairs, it is not used by the plants. So that excess of water get evaporated out of the plants. Yes, we know that which is excess, which is waste, that every waste material we have to excrete or exhale or expel or remove out of the body. Yes, which is excess, which is waste, that we have to remove from our body. So same thing happened here also. The excess water which get absorbed by the plant get evaporated through the stomata of leaves mostly, and by other parts of plants also get evaporated, get transpirated, but that process of transpiration or evaporation of water is mostly happen inside the leaves, and that process is very important. Why it is important? Because as the transpiration happen inside the leaves, there is a formation of low concentration of water. As the low concentration happen, osmosis process happen here. Yes, we know that through the osmosis process, the water and mineral get transported from higher concentration to lower concentration. Suppose for our understanding, I will draw here one chain of cell. Suppose this is one chain of cell. Yes, suppose this is one chain of cell, and here from this cell, through this membrane, water and mineral get absorbed. Yes, and this water again get transported towards the next cell, and so on. Why? Suppose here it is stomata. It is present here at the top of that tissue, and from that first cell water get transpired or water get evaporated through the process of transpiration. Now how that transpiration happen? This transpiration happen due to heat. During the daytime sunlight is present, heat is present. So due to that heat, evaporation process happen. We know that from our skin also continuously water get evaporated through the process of sweating. Yes, similarly here through through the process of transpiration, water get evaporated through that stomata. Here from this cell, suppose the water get evaporated, means transpiration happen here, so that the water level is minimized. Water level is minimized here. Yes, water level is minimized. यहाँ पर water का concentration कम हो गया है. Understood? So यहाँ पर कम हो गया, तो ये कहाँ से लेगा? यहाँ पर osmosis होगा, because water is continuously get transported from lower region to upper region. Yes, from lower region to upper region. Here I am. These are the root hairs. These are the leaves here, and these are the stomata. So from lower region, the water get transported up to here, and here due to transpiration, the level of water is, concentration of water is low now due to transpiration during the daytime. So from higher concentration to lower concentration, water get absorbed towards the leaves, inside the leaves. Yes, in this manner, the water and the minerals continuously get transported towards the upward part, means continuously evaporation is happening here, means here concentration is becoming low, and continuously the water and minerals from the lower part is get transported towards the upper side. Yes, because here concentration is high and here concentration is continuously becoming low, so that transpiration process, through the transpiration process, here suction pool is created. Suction pool is created. What is meant by suction pool? Suppose we are taking some juice through the straw. Straw means we are here suction pool is created. The straw is work as a suction pool. What is straw? Straw is nothing but one type of suction pool. Yes, through the mouth, we are continuously taking the juice. We are continuously absorbing the juice, and that straw is working as a suction pool. And as like that straw, here due to the transpiration, that cells, that tissues are work as suction pool. Yes, similar to this. Understood? यहाँ पर भी एक suction pool ही तैयार होगा ना, because of that suction pool, water get transported. So this transpiration process is very useful. It play very important role for the transportation of water and mineral inside the plant. What is the importance of the transpiration? What is the benefits of the transpiration process? One is it creates suction pool for the absorption of the waters and minerals, for the transportation of waters and minerals. For the transportation of water and mineral, through the transpiration process, suction pool is created. That is first benefit and important benefit. Another, it keep the plant cool. We know that if evaporation is happen at that place is remain as a cool place. Yes, we have discussed before that also. As we keep water inside the earthen pot, that water remain cool. Here, through that evaporation process, water continuously get removed from the body, so that due to this transpiration, plant also remain cool. So these are the benefits of the transpiration. Now we will discuss the next point, on which factor the transpiration is depend. First, size of leaves. As we know that leaves are the platform. At this platform, the process of transpiration happen, so that the rate of transpiration is depend on the size of the leaves. As the size of the leaves increase, the transpiration rate also will be increased. The plants which are having small leaves, they are having less rate of transpiration, and the leaves like banyan trees and other trees, they are having big sized leaves. In that leaves, the rate of transpiration is more as compared to these small leaves. Understand? In that leaf, in this type of leaves, rate of transpiration is more. As compared to these small sized leaves. Yes? So it depends on the size. Second thing, it depends on the heat which is present in the environment. So during the daytime, heat is more so that the rate of transpiration is more at daytime. Rate of evaporation or rate of transpiration is more as during the daytime. Means heat is, if the heat is more, the rate is more of the transpiration. Okay. So the transpiration rate is depend on the size of leaves, and it depend also on the heat which is present inside the environment. If heat is more, rate of transpiration will be also more. So this was about the transpiration. You can also read that topic from your textbook. So what are the benefits? It works as a suction food. Yes, and again it remain, it keep the body of plant cool, and it depends on the size of leaves, and it depends on the heat which is present. So this was about that topic. I hope you understood that. Okay.
In this module, you will learn about transport system in plants. Like human beings, plants also need a transport system. Can you guess why? Well, here is a hint. Any transport will always function to move objects from one place to the other. To be precise, we are going to learn why plants need a transport system. Why should substances be moved in plants? Which are the substances that need to be moved? How does a transport system in a plant function? Let us first understand why plants require a transport system. Water enters the plants through the roots, while the leaves require it for preparing the food. Similarly, leaves are the only source of food for the whole plant, while all other parts of the plant require food. Hence, plants need transport system to move water and minerals absorbed by the roots and sugar or food prepared by the leaves through their different parts. A plant's transport system is made up of vessels in the roots, stems and the leaves. These vessels are of two types, xylem and phloem. Water and dissolved minerals are absorbed by the roots and taken into the xylem. Water and dissolved minerals move to the stem and leaves through the xylem. Food or sugar is made in the leaf by the process of photosynthesis. Sugar molecules produced in the leaves move to different parts of a plant through the phloem. Thus, we know that xylem and phloem differ in their functions. Here is a complete visual which shows clearly the two-way transport system in plants. If you view a cross-section of a plant stem under a microscope, here is how the xylem and phloem would appear. Most of the absorption of water and minerals are carried out by the younger parts of the roots called root hair. The process by which water from the soil enters the cells of the root is called osmosis, while minerals enter the root through a process called diffusion. From the root hair, the water and mineral pass into the xylem vessels. They are then carried by the xylem up the stem of the plant. Please take note that in this process of absorption, water and dissolved nutrients move up against the force of gravity. Here is the story. Plants have small openings in the surface of their leaves called stomata. Through the stomata, water present in the leaves evaporates into the air. It is this evaporation, also known as transpiration, which is the driving force for pulling water through a plant. Transpiration creates a deficiency of water available in the leaves and sets up an upward force in the plant that pulls water from the roots up to the stem and then to the leaves. Thus, the water moving up the plant stem through the xylem replaces the water that is evaporated from the leaves.
Professor, what are you doing with this plant?
I'm going to show you something interesting. I kept it in the sun since morning. Now, let's check the plant, Binny.
Look, there are small droplets of water on the inner side of the jar. How is that possible?
The leaves of the plant transpire water vapors, which condense as droplets on the inner surface of the jar. Can you tell me what does that prove?
That leaves are the sites of transpiration?
Correct. See, so no need to fear from tests.
Wow! Professor, I was thinking that does the small plant and that big tree outside, do both of them transpire at the same pace?
That's a good question. Let's take that up. Do you know that transpiration rate in plants depends on multiple factors? These are type of plant, wind, leaf size, humidity, and air temperature. Now, a mint plant is different from a banyan tree. The size of their leaves is also different, so
Their transpiration rate will also differ.
correct.
And how does air, temperature, humidity, and wind affect this rate?
Plants transpire more rapidly at higher temperatures because water evaporates more rapidly as the temperature rises. At 30 degrees centigrade, a leaf may transpire 3 times as fast as it does at 20 degrees centigrade.
Oh!
Likewise, when the surrounding air is dry, diffusion of water out of the leaf happens more rapidly than in humid air. And when there is no wind, the surrounding air becomes increasingly humid, thus reducing the rate of transpiration. When a wind is present, the humid air is carried away and replaced by drier air, leading to high transpiration rate.
Interesting!
Now it is time for the memory brush up. So pay proper attention and have a quick look on all that we have learned today about transportation system in plants. In this module we have learned transport system in the plants is made up of vessels in the roots, stems and the leaves. These vessels are of two types, xylem and phloem. Xylem vessels carry water and minerals from the roots to all parts like leaves. Water moving up the plant stem through the xylem replaces water that has evaporated from the leaves. Phloem transports food, that is sugar, from the leaves to other parts like roots of a flowering plant. Phloem carries dissolved food from the leaves to those parts of plant which cannot make their own food.
Wow! The transport system of plants was as exciting as the transport system in our city.